This starting lineup can actually turn the Lakers' season around. As of right now, they're sitting at a pretty 22-23, so, a nice little sub 500 record, which personally, as a diehard Lakers fan, kind of makes you want to commit seppuku, just a little bit. But I feel like this lineup, which was showcased in the other day's game on Tuesday, I think the 18th of January, against the Indiana Pacers, where the Lakers lost by a few, more than a few. They kind of got fucking demolished, maybe like 10 or 12. But I feel like this lineup, without Carmelo Anthony in it, replace Carmelo with LeBron in it, can just completely improve the team. The lineup consists of LeBron James, Malik Monk, Stanley Johnson, Austin Reeves, and Taylon Tucker. Now, you might be thinking, a couple of those guys still kind of unproven young guys, or just kind of middle of the pack, just solid bench role players. Well, that's where you'd kind of be wrong, and the stats kind of back me up. I didn't really do too much research, but I've watched every Lakers game this season, and these are the 5 guys that try the fucking hardest on the entire team. Where Carmelo Anthony the other night, a large complaint that I've kind of always had with Carmelo Anthony throughout his entire career, he doesn't play defense. I kind of like the all-around players who can, lock up the best player and then go down the court and score, which, not too many of the Lakers superstars are known for. Anthony Davis, obviously he's, in the past few years, he's been a consensus Defensive Player of the Year candidate, but, has he ever gotten it? No. Also, this season, he's kind of been up and down, dealing with injuries, as he has been for his entire fucking career, it feels like, but hey, it'll happen. Now let me explain my choices just a little bit more clearly, almost, so that you guys can see my point of view. LeBron, for obvious reasons, would be in the lineup. It's kind of a no shit. Like, what, are you fucking stupid? He is easily the best player on the Lakers this year, and he's also the best player in basketball this year. I was actually thinking that it was, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or even Kevin Durant maybe this year. Maybe this is the year that he could actually pass LeBron, but LeBron said, nah, fuck that. I'm just going to start dropping 32 points on everyone's heads like it's 2014 or something, But LeBron, he's the guy the offense obviously runs through, and it feels like every time he's off the court, the Lakers start sucking. There's been just an amazing collapse every single game this season for the Lakers, where as soon as LeBron either comes out or the third quarter starts, the Lakers go to shit. That's just because he's really one of the only guys who can handle the ball, other than this next guy that I'm about to talk about. But let's continue talking about LeBron. Obviously, he's in the MVP race. If the Lakers were actually, maybe a top 5 seed, he might actually be in contention for it. But because currently they're 22-23 as of the 21st of January, I believe it is, then he's kind of fucked in terms of getting it, actually. But hey, it'll happen. And I'm just worried that he might end up getting injured just because of the sheer amount of minutes that he's playing. He's already gotten the most minutes in all of NBA history, but now he's just kind of getting the entire weight of the team put on his shoulders yet again for the fucking 18th straight season of his career. So that can't exactly be amazing. The next player I want to talk about is Malik Monk. He's the only guy that could actually get a shot up. Everyone else is kind of just waiting around and just trying to freestyle, kind of one-on-one people, but Malik Monk can actually get a quick first step on someone or do a pull back or just 3 it, but there's too many players on the Lakers who just can't really create their own shot without LeBron or a set play. And if you really need a play to get a shot off on a team run by, Frank Vogel, Mr. I have fucking 4 plays in my entire playbook, then you're kind of shit out of luck, if I'm being honest. Now, when I told you guys the starting lineup, you might be a little inquisitive as to why I put Austin Reeves in there, seeing as it is his first season in the NBA, and he's still just a young guy, but he is one out of two players in my fantasy version, if I was the coach of the Lakers, that I would start. One, because that classic small white guy in the NBA. He's a hustle player and he can hit his shots, but that is legitimately what he can do. He hits his shots. I have it written down right here: 35% from three, and then 68% from inside the line. So that's fucking crazy good. I think that amounts to just about, 49%, just for an overall field goal percentage, which is really good. And he's only getting, I think, around 20 minutes a game right now. But if he, starts to get starting minutes, so he gets like 30 minutes a game, I feel like he could go from where he is right now at 6 points per game all the way to maybe 10 to 13 points a game, which are kind of needed points right now. And the less shots that Avery Bradley can take in the first 4 minutes of the game, personally, for me, the better. Now, this is my favorite signing the Lakers did this year, actually. It was Stanley Johnson. He only got signed maybe 20 days ago to like 10-day, and I don't know why the Lakers still haven't just signed him to a full contract yet for a couple years, but hey, I'm not the GM right now. Rob Pelinka, please sign his ass. Well, he's just another guy who just puts everything out there on the court, and I've liked him ever since he was drafted to Detroit. But then, he kind of bounced around the league for a few years, and then now he's here, he's 25, and he's actually a fucking solid-ass player. Well, he's not exactly a shooter, per se. Like, if it was the final 3 seconds of a game, and he was open, and then Austin Reeves was open, odds are I'm passing Austin Reeves, because, yet again, I have the numbers right here. Stanley Johnson is 28% from the three-point line, which, for an NBA player, kind of fucking atrocious. And then he's 75%, when he's close or mid-ranges or whatever. I didn't really look at the splits inside the arc, but he hits 75% of his shots if it's not a three-pointer. So if he just kind of converts most of his game to inside the line and just kind of chill on taking the threes, which at close to 30%, that's just about, that's where I cut it off, where it's like, all right, you shouldn't be getting any minutes because you're obviously not effective. I feel like 27% and below, that's when you just shouldn't be getting minutes and you just need to work on your shot. But like that 75% inside the line is what's just super intriguing about him, and I think that he could actually make his first leap in his career from going from a role player to a solid starter, because not only is he pretty good when he's just doing like crazy layups or getting rebounds, he is an absolute goon on the defensive side of the ball. All he does, get steals, blocks, everything. He could stop damn near anyone except for, like the top end talent. So like he's a really good guy to like at least slow down, like the Giannis's or the Kevin Durant's, instead of dropping 45 that they would if, Carmelo Anthony was guarding them. They're only probably going to drop like 25 to 30, which personally, hey, I'll take what I can fucking get at this point. And my final player for the Lakers starting lineup is Taylon Horton-Tucker. Now, I know that he's in trade talks and all that shit, but I like him. I don't exactly love his shot selection, but hey, if he just keeps on practicing those kind of, if I'm being quite frank, stupid fucking circuit shots. It's like he's trying to be Michael Jordan and Derrick Rose at the same time. Like sometimes if the basket's right here, he tries going around like that instead of just putting it up. Which I feel like if he just gets better shot selection and then actually develops a three, then he could be a fringe all-star. But like he bounces between, oh wow, he's definitely the third option of this team, to like, why is he playing right now in like crunch time, and I mean, I like him as a player, and he plays good defense. So that's kind of been a consistent thing with these past three players, because LeBron James and Malik Monk, obviously those are your two offensive players, but what the Lakers have really been struggling with this season, just on the defensive side of the ball. We could score points, but we get more points scored on us consistently. It's like, we just fucking suck. But, yeah, that's really, this is all, obviously, there's one, asterisk. As soon as Anthony Davis comes back, he's probably going to be taking his job in the starting lineup again. That's kind of, a 4-year-old could probably figure that out. But the thing is, he is going to be on a minutes restriction probably, because this is feels like his 4th injury in 2 years. So I kind of hope he just kind of eases back into it. And yeah, but then most likely out of the 5 that I've laid out, Anthony Davis would start most likely over Stanley Johnson, because in this lineup, LeBron would be running center because he's been pretty effective in it this season. All right, well, that's the video. Do you agree? Yes, no, maybe so. Start an argument with me in the comments. I will respond to you, and I will prove why you're wrong with stats. All right, well, that's it. This is Sports Talk with Luke, and my next video most likely is going to be tomorrow night after the first few divisional games of the football playoffs. So, catch you then.